Hey, what is up, you guys? It's me, Sam Nova198 again, and today I wanted to sort of give a sort of retrospective and sort of look back at the Nintendo Switch. Now, the Nintendo Switch has officially hit the 8-year mark. The console's been out for almost a decade now, and it's kind of crazy to think years have passed since the Switch came out. And I just wanted to give my overall retrospective and my view on the Switch and overall my feelings, and sort of show this as a little bit of a micro series I'm doing talking about the Switch. I'll have a top 10 best games of the Switch out soon, probably coming this week before the Nintendo Switch 2 reveal event. But I wanted to do a video discussing overall, my feelings and looking back at the Switch and what it overall meant to me and what it pretty much got me through. Because this console, in this case, the Nintendo Switch, this thing got me through some shit, man. Breakups and so forth. And I remember when the Switch came out. It was 2017. And fun fact, this actually isn't my original Switch. This is actually my OLED. I got this back in 2022, about 3 years ago, and it's pretty crazy to think it's been almost 3 years since I got this thing, but I still remember when the Switch came out. I was not 18, I was in my senior year of high school, I was about to graduate, and I remember there was a lot of talk about the Switch because it was becoming such a big deal. The gaming community was on fire when this thing came out, and not only that, it also launched with quite possibly one of the greatest games of all time, The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, which I can just say, that's probably my most played game on the Switch, well, my original Switch, but it's just kind of insane to think the Switch had such an incredible launch title like that. Hell, even a month later, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe came out. Oh, and it seems like the Nintendo Switch 2 is going to have another Mario Kart game, which I'm going to talk about later, but it was kind of nuts when the Switch came out. Now, I didn't get a Switch, my original Switch, until the summer of 2017, after I graduated high school, and the reason I didn't is because they were actually pretty tough to find, but I remember going to Best Buy and after work, and I remember getting myself a Switch, an original Nintendo Switch. I brought it home. I think I bought Breath of the Wild, and I got an SD card for it, and it was honestly kind of crazy. I started playing it in handheld mode, and then I was like, let's see how this is in the docked mode. And I tried it on the docked mode. It was insane that it was the same game I was playing on this, I could also play on my TV. It was so nuts to me. I'd never seen something like that. And honestly, when the Switch came out, I was kind of wondering what else could this thing do. And it was pretty great, and I was wondering what games it could come with, and then Doom 2016 came out later that year, and I was like, Doom 2016 on the Switch? And surprisingly, that was a really good port. And it was just kind of nuts, because when my first year of college started, I was playing this thing quite a bit. I mean, I was still playing my 3DS, mostly for Samus Returns, but this thing became my go-to portable console when I would play it with friends. And especially when Super Smash Bros. Ultimate came out, holy crap, that was something else entirely. I still remember the day when Smash Ultimate was revealed. I actually got into a car accident, and I was not in the best mood, and was very, very upset. And when I heard Super Smash Bros. Ultimate was coming out, everybody I knew said they were buying a Switch for that console. Switch for Super Smash Bros. And it was kind of incredible that so many people were hyped for it. Hell, I remember in college, there was a friend of mine who brought in the TVs to our game club and just would play it. It was insane, and it was pretty awesome to see the Switch was bringing so many people together, especially with Super Smash Bros. Ultimate been with us now. That was incredible. Like, it was kind of insane that I could play the full-fledged console version of Super Smash Bros. On the go and on my TV when I'm just at home. It's pretty incredible. And yes, I will say the Switch had some underpowered elements to it, but none of that really mattered to us because the games we still got on the Switch, like For like Fire Emblem Three Houses, I played the shit out of that game. Same thing with Astral Chain. Hell, when Metroid Dread came out, that game looked as good as a PS5 game in my opinion. That game looked amazing. And it's just kind of nuts to think that while the Switch, yes, it was a bit underpowered, and it just is a tablet at the end of the day at times, it's incredible what the Switch was able to do. I kept playing my Switch even after now the Switch's hardware is pretty much dried up. Yes, there's a couple more games coming out for the Switch, like Prime 4 Beyond is said to come out for the Switch, though I think that might be a cross-gen like Breath of the Wild was. It's just kind of insane to think that the Switch, even after all these years, has still remained one of my favorite consoles, because in a lot of ways, I really do think the Nintendo Switch is one of my favorite consoles of all time. This thing got me through a lot. It got me through college, and it was a great console to have with me on the go and to play any of the new big AAA games. Now, I didn't play every AAA game on here. Sometimes I was curious, like Doom 2016, I had to try on this thing, and I gotta say, that port was awesome. Same thing with Eternal. Even I've heard the Eternal port's actually pretty decent. So, I think it's just kind of crazy to think that the Switch is 8 years old now, and in my opinion, it's still one of the best consoles of all time. It's not a perfect console, no console is, but I love this thing. I love the Switch. Not just the OLED, the other Switch. I played my original Switch, I will probably over 300 hours clocked in on it. And it's just kind of insane to think that we're just about at in the twilight days of the Switch, and soon we'll have the Switch 2. And will the Switch 2 become my favorite console of all time? I don't know. Only time will tell. Maybe the Switch 2 will have some pretty big heavy hitters, because when the Switch first came out, the fact we got Super Smash Brothers literally a year after, over a year after the Switch 2 1 came out, was insane. That's just, it's an incredible, it's like an incredible achievement that the Switch has been such a success. And honestly, I'm looking forward to the Switch 2. And I will say, I did have a lot of fun playing my Switch 1. And you're probably thinking, well, you're not going to play your Switch anymore after you do this video? No, I will. I'll play my Switch more. Or, I mean, I'm playing through Donkey Kong Country Returns on that thing right now. I'll be playing it. It's kind of a nostalgic feeling knowing I've literally seen the Switch start off from humble beginnings to becoming a mega powerhouse for a lot of people. I mean, I have a lot of friends that still play their Switches, and it's kind of a bit of a bittersweet feeling that the Switch 2 might not be played as much by people in the future, because from what I've heard, the Switch 2 is backwards compatible with all of the Nintendo Switch library, which I think is great, but only time will tell if some of those games will have next-gen upgrades and so forth. We'll have to wait and see. But anyways, this was my sort of look back and my feelings on the Nintendo Switch. I love this console, and in many ways, I'll never forget the great times I had with this thing. It was really one of those consoles that, yes, even though I have a PS5 and an Xbox Series X and a gaming laptop that I mostly use for video editing, that's an RTX 4050 with 16 gigabytes of RAM, I still think it was kind of impressive that the Switch could do so much with such limited hardware. So, anyways, let me know what you guys thought about the Nintendo Switch. Is it one of your favorite consoles too, like mine? I would like to know. Anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you liked it, make sure to like it, leave a comment, make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time, and goodbye.